Hello, welcome to the channel. My name is Linslow by choice. If you don't know, I play in The Sims 4 a lot. I make a lot of videos about it, and this is another one. Except this is something that like fuses my other hobby of sewing, and I'm going to try to make a dress for a wedding. We're going to look through the catalog and see what formal dresses look cool, and then we're going to see if we can make it, or like a variation of it just a little bit. By the end of this, you're into this kind of thing. Let me know in the comments, like this video, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, all of that good stuff. Now that all that's done, let's go into the game and see if we can make a Sims 4 dress in real life. We can definitely do it. You and me, our skills together, we can do this. Okay, we're finally in the game. Let's go into the formal category and then full body long dresses. That's what we're going for. The theme of this wedding is like formal, like floor length gowns, tuxedos, suit and tie, all that kind of thing. So it has to be a floor length long dress. This is actually so cute, but it's like too much. This is my first time going to a wedding too, so I'm like not really sure what to wear, but we'll see. I feel like this is too flashy. That's too flashy. Also, I should preface this by saying I am not trained in sewing. Like I don't follow patterns. I don't do any of that. I just wing it the whole time. So this is gonna have to be like maybe like one of the beginner kind of things or something similar to that maybe. This is actually so cute and I love this dress. It comes in this. I don't know which one is it. Oh, like this one. I love this swatch of this. That's so beautiful. This is kind of cute. Oh, they have this in all black. Huh. Doesn't look like it'll be too hard either. I don't know. I might like this one. This is the dress, everyone. So let me show you the skirt and then we can cut out some pieces to see if this will work. I would say not to look too closely because it's not well made. It was my first attempt at making an evening gown or evening wear, so please don't judge me, okay? It already has a zipper in the back, so we're fine with that. But I did make tool details. I don't know if you can see it. And when I didn't actually attach it to the dress. I didn't have time, my bad. But the seam for this skirt is in the back where the zipper is. So what I would like to do is move this zipper to the side where that slit is. I'm gonna add the picture up here so you can see. So what we can do is undo the seam from here to maybe knee length and that be where the slit is. Now the zipper would also have to be there, but it's one less seam that we would need to make. It would just be undoing the seam and then sewing this two sides up. Not that hard, right? Hard part. We need to make the top. From what I can tell, it'll be two different parts, an under part and then the part that really matches this. So to make a distinction between the two, I think I'll add like a lace feature or something. Okay, so this is what we're working with. A lot of extra fabric, a lot. I'm not proud of it. I really don't know how much to measure because I'm not trained or anything and I barely like to watch videos. So this is what we have. I'll just lay it out for you first. Fortunately for us, I actually have two of these. So I'm gonna grab my other scrap piece. This is pretty large and I think we could make, the top out of this one and then the actual draping piece out of the other one. Do exact measurements. I'm not gonna do any of that. I just want you all to see the vision and also determine if we need to go to the fabric store. I know it looks a little ill-fitting right now and that's because it is, but that's okay because we're going to add lace. Boom. This is the lace that I have, right? And what I'm gonna do is just split it in half. Not literally because I'm not gonna cut this because I don't have that much of this. And that is how it'll look over top. Me doing this allows me to know that I have more than enough to do front and back of this piece. So it's starting to look like something, right? Imagine it without this. This is not gonna be there. This is gonna be a belt. Also, I want you to know that the lines won't look like this. I promise. I'm gonna make it look better than that. But we have, a little base we can work off of. The only part of this lace that's really showing is this. In the end, it looked like this in a way. And it just have like a few things on the side, Oh, I actually really like this. What do you guys think? Yeah, but I definitely have enough fabric to do it all here, but I do need to get a zipper. So we're gonna have lace here. There's gonna be lace here. This is what the back looks like right now. And I got the lace tied up here and it's just going to be a plain back. So I'll see you when I come back from the fabric store. I do need a few zippers, some pins, and like the piece up here so that the dress doesn't fall down. It may or may not be like 7 hours later. I ended up going to the fabric store, but I ended up doing a bunch of other errands. So it's now 5:48 p.m. and we were pinning this together at 12. So 5 hours have gone by. I have two of these zippers. They are similar to like invisible zippers. So hopefully these do the trick. And I'm thinking that we should take off this skirt so we can see what we're working with and build off of this top. We are now into measuring, and so I put the skirt on so I can see how long I want the top to be, and so it can actually look like a dress, even though it's 2 pieces. I will try my best to make it into a dress, but for the sake of time, we're going to just measure and see what we can do. It's currently 6 o'clock. And I want it to be a pretty thick shoulder part. The bottom part needs to be an inch more, 4 inches. So now that we're all measured up, the trick is going to be getting this to be the right proportion. But this has to be fitted. So the back part is going to be fitted, but the front is going to have a lot of the ruching. So yeah, we've got our work cut out for us. I'm pretty sure we can do it, or something similar to it. So now that we have this, we're gonna start at the bottom layer and work our way out. Also, I just noticed this. I really don't know what that is. We took that first part off. Let's work on this. This has to be the entire top because it's going to be shown the entire time. So we have the lace piece and there's a piece under it. So let's start cutting out the part under it. I've moved the mannequin over. We have our piece that we're gonna make the top out of. Let's get to cutting. It is now 6:15. Okay, let's get started. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. I don't think I measure properly. I don't think I do, honestly. That's just gonna be what it is. We're just gonna trial and error it. We can't trial and error a lot, but we can do a little bit. So the back needs to be 2 separate pieces with a seam allowance for the zipper. So our waist is 29, right? I'm gonna add an inch to that so I can have a seam allowance on the side. And so 30 divided by 2 is 15, divided by 2 is 7.5-ish. So both of the sides need to add up to 15. I think. I probably messed up the math. I don't know. This out 3 times and I'm still certain that it's not the perfect size. So I'm starting to get a little frustrated. It's now 7:30. I don't even know. Now that I have our 3 pieces here, what we can do is cut out the lace in these 3 pieces and then we're gonna sew them on top of each other and then we'll sew them all together. So again, I'm just gonna cut out the lace of these same pieces. Be right back. So I've cut everything out. We have our 3 panels with lace over them and it is now 8:20. I did take a quick break to clean up my place a little bit and I've been up since 5:30 this morning. So I think this is gonna be the end of day 1. We didn't really do much. Now I see why people do patterns because that would make this a lot easier because I still don't even know if this will work. I don't know, guys. Put your faith in me, please. Trust the process. I don't know. So roadmap for tomorrow, we are sewing the lace down to the black piece for every one of these. And then we're going to sew these together, leaving space for the zipper. I'm gonna clean up. I will see you tomorrow. Okay, so it is now day 2. It's Wednesday, February 21st, and it's currently my lunch break. It's 2:20 right now, so I have until 3:20. Let's see what we can get done on this bad boy. We're gonna start by sewing the lace onto the black fabric for all 3 of the pieces. Let's just do that. So it is now 3:30, so I'm a little bit over my lunch break, but I was able to sew both of the back panels and the sides of the front panels. So as soon as I get off work, we just have to sew the shoulder, the arm, the front piece, and the waist. And then we can connect them all together. I really wish we could have done it before, but it's okay. I'm not in a big rush. It's still Wednesday. The wedding is on Saturday, and I have a game night planned with my friend tomorrow. So I'll just see you after I get off work. All right, boom. So I'm off work. It's 5:46 now. I already put the top together. This is what it looks like. Now, I know you may be thinking, the bottom of this, it looks boxy, and that's because it is. Truthfully, I don't really care what the bottom of this looks like because it's not going to be shown. I really just want this to look fitted and this to look nice. The trick that I've learned is that I can flip this, and the arm part together, and then I can kind of see what it looks like on me. I'm gonna show you. This is a lot, and that's okay because I have a seam allowance here and I have a seam allowance up here, but it is like right here. I need it to be more so like this. So I'm gonna recut this part and then see if it lays a little bit better on me. And then for this, we're just gonna leave this how it is right now. What I've noticed is that it's so much easier for you to take things in. You can't bring things back. So I'm not even gonna touch it right now. It may look a little odd and we may end up needing to do something about it, but for right now, I'm fine with it. We're gonna do some pinning and see if it starts to look right, and then we'll cut. Not the lace part, but the black. So the front part of this is 5.5, and the back part is 4. So we do have to take it in a little bit, because then that means we can also take this bit in too. Perfect. That means in the end, it may end up being just 3 inches. It's still kind of big. That's 3. So it still is pretty big. Since we're in the front, we're going to take most of the inches off of this inner part. Let's go. Since it's 5.5 right now, I'll probably take in 1 inch. So it'll be 4.5, and then we'll take 1/2 inch off of the outside. Now let's get to pinning. I'm going to music it up, and then we're going to see. That looks good. This, I definitely have to take in like all of that, but this is good. And it looks almost like the picture. Like, all right, so this is that part. Yeah. Now we're gonna go ahead and sew the inside of this. Now that this part is sewn together and cleaned up, let's sew the back 2 panels together. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to sew these together instead of putting the zipper back there. These panels are exactly measured up, and I don't really want it to be bombarded with the zipper. So what we're going to do is put the zipper on the side where the sleeve is. So since it's like this, I'll put the zipper over here. And I had this realization as I was working that I can flip the zipper upside down so that I zip it down instead of up. That way I have enough space to make it really tight fitted. Thank you. Okay. Here we go. This is the back panel piece. It literally looks so good. Look at this stretched. Yeah. The bottom of it is uneven, but that's okay because it's not meant to be a hem. Now that that is done though, we can sew the back piece to the front piece on this side. This is the side without the sleeve and the shoulder part. So I finished it. All pieces are finally together. Tried it on, and I'm so scared to put the zipper in because there's so much space. I don't think it's going to zip up when I put it in, but we have no choice because the garment is already almost ready. If I could just put the zipper on and it like fits so snug, I'll be thankful to God, honestly, because I don't know how I did this, but it looks like a clean garment. After I put the zipper in, sew the top together, and then hem the bottom, the top part will be done. All we need to do is the draping. And when I did the skirt, I did an invisible zipper. So I think I can do another invisible zipper on here too. And it's black and matches the fabric. You won't be able to see it because my arm's going to be covering it the whole time. So even if it is just a little bit peekaboo, who's going to see it? You? No. So I couldn't really miss the opportunity to rhyme on that. That's so sad. Let's get into it. I'm going to show you my hands. We're going to see what's up. We're going to see what's up. All right, y'all, so I got it on, but we got some bad news. As I was trying it on, you can kind of see my skin through this, and that's because the lace has detached from the inner black part. And the same thing can be said for the back seam too. So I have to figure out something to do about that. Because right now I'm literally busting out at the seams like a can of biscuits. Again, I guess that's why people make patterns. I don't know. It is now 7:41, and I'm going to take some time to fix these seams. When I come back, we should be good. We should be fine. And then once that's done, we will just start draping. Yes, this is the part that's going to be showing. So this is exactly how I wanted it. I'm going to have to get some boob tape, but obviously, gotta, just push it up this way. But I love this. I'm probably going to take it in a little bit over here, or probably like snatch it more this way. This is what it'll look like. And the zipper is right here. So I'm thinking I can have it drape all the way over to the zipper and have it stop here. And this part, hold on, this part will end up doing this. Over, and then it'll drape. That means that that belt ends up being like extra fabric or like a flowy part next to the slit, and I think it's gonna be amazing. It is now 9:31, so that means you'll have to see me on my lunch break tomorrow where we will start the sewing process of this. All right, it's Thursday. I took a little bit of a late lunch, so it's now 4:25. I need to be done by 5:25, and then I'm gonna have like an hour of work later, and then we're just gonna get back into it. Okay, I have the top and I had to deconstruct it, but I pinned where the draping should end. And now we're just gonna sew the pieces together. And this is the strap, so we're going to sew until maybe like right here. That way we can get a peek of this lace on the shoulder strap. Let's get into it. So I pinned it in, and this is how I want it to look at the top. So I'm just gonna flip it and then sew this into it, so you can't see the thread on the outside because everything is flipped over. And then I'm slowly thinking about, like, with all the labor and stuff I'm putting into this, would it have been cheaper to just get a dress? Probably. I had to redo the front, and it's not as like layered as I want, but this will do. I can put a lot of the layers in the bottom rows. This is so much harder than I thought. I've been doing this so much, the emotion is like dripping out of my voice. Like, I feel like when I started this, I was a whole person, and now I'm like a shell of who I am. So we're sewing the side now. I feel like I kind of messed up. I don't know to what extent, but it feels like as I was sewing, I was like, I don't feel easy about this. Like, nothing about this feels easy. All right, so I did it, sewn on completely. It's a little, but it'll do, it'll do. And so now I just have to gather it all to one side on the mannequin and then pin, and then we're just sewing that together too. It's way past my lunch hour, so I'm gonna see you after I get off work. So it's not right after work, it's like some time after work. I ended up going to a friend's game night, and now it is 11:20 p.m. and I want to get this done. Kind of just want to have this sewn on. We can work on the bottom part tomorrow, but as long as I can get this sewed part, like, all I'd have to do is cut and then boom. I really don't know how I'm gonna sew this together. I was thinking about just sewing in like the inner pieces like this, and then right here, and you know, just all the pieces that are hitting the fabric. So let's do that. I was like at this game night, and I was still thinking about this dress. Even if it doesn't turn out the way that I prefer, I think I'd still be happy because it's like I haven't made any clothes that I can wear outside from scratch. I like upcycled this big dress that I had found at like a thrift store or something into a crop top, but like nothing like an evening gown. I don't know why I decide I can't make regular clothes to wear, but I can make an evening gown. Like, who thinks like that? If this ends up turning out amazingly, like, you guys have to tell me if you would want more videos like this, because I've been doing like a lot more hobbies and stuff, and I think I've been taking the ability to start new hobbies for granted. And so this is a way for me to incorporate it, you know, into the Sims and everything, but also kind of document my journey with you all. And I'm open to tips. Don't be harsh or anything, because yeah, that's just like not really constructive or anything, but I'm up for tips on how to do it. And I did make a disclaimer, like, I'm not professionally taught. I don't be following videos. I'm figuring it out. And I know it's not as effective this way, but it's my learning process. And I don't plan on making a living out of this dress or anything. I'm just vibing, and just vibe with me, please. Either way, I'm happy you guys did this. I don't know why. I'm coming back and I'm just feeling like grateful. I think earlier when I started doing it, I was like, I just want to get it done. And I still am like that. Don't get me wrong. I still want to be like, let's just get it done. But since I can't right now, this will do. This is without the pins. Yeah. This has changed like 17 times since I've put it on there. We're just gonna cut, honestly. So I'm cutting the end piece. I really hope this turns out well. It's now 12:34 a.m. It's Friday. Yay! And I have an early morning yoga class, so this is gonna be fun. This is if I tie it in a knot. I didn't really work on this that much, so it won't look like that, but the top is basically done. And with that, I am gonna call it a night. I'm gonna go take a shower and get ready for another work day, and I will see you maybe lunch tomorrow so we can finish this up and add the slit in the dress. So let's do that. Okay, so it is now Friday. It's after the work day. 5:40. I have a dinner reservation at 7 p.m. and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to leave a little bit earlier than that. So I have a little less than an hour to do this, but I want to hem all of this and then even over here and then under here, underneath the seam that I created. So let's get into that. Not much talking. We're gonna be pinning and then sewing, period. Let's get into it. And for this, I'm just going to roll the edges in twice. I would have loved to add like another thing under it so that it looks like it's two pieces and it's like really cement, but like I don't have time for it. The wedding is tomorrow. So let's just do a double seam roll. The amount of times that I've pulled this all over here, wishing that this doesn't break. Would you believe me if I told you that this was like the easiest part of making this top? Honestly, all I did for this one is just double roll it. So like I flipped it in once, flipped it in one more time, and then pinned as you're seeing here. And that was about it. I actually love doing this part. It's very therapeutic. The only time it gets a little bit tricky is when I get to those corners and I have to like cut it and then put it over twice. But then once you actually do it and you see the beautiful thread lines, I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, before I sew everything, it's now 5:59. I still have one side of this part of the belt to do, but I don't have any more pins, so this is gonna have to do. Before I sew it, I'm just gonna lightly iron it out so I can get the crease that I want, just to make sure the insides don't fold out or anything like that. Basically, everything is done. I just want it to look a little more polished, and cleaning up these edges are a way for us to get that. So, all right, I did that. Let's sew. So it's now 6:19. I have to still put on my clothes and do everything. So this is going to be the end for this one. We have one more side on this part of the belt, and then we have the entire other side of the belt plus the waist seam. So that's a lot. And then we still have to do the skirt slit part. It's a lot of work. I might be up all night, but it's going to look beautiful and it's okay. I'll see you most likely later tonight. Okay, I'm back from the dinner. It's now 10:30. We're going to finish the top and then I'll get back to you when we are starting the skirt. So it's around this time. You can see, look at the beautiful lines on this. I did have the hardest time with this thread. Like, do you see how it's treating me right now? I can't believe that it just kept doing this. We're in the end stretch. So as you can see, I go back in and I'm doing the bottom of this top just so it has like some clean line there. And I know where to stop the hem on the other side of the skirt. So I re-thread it through, see if it's working, and surprise, it works for a little bit. But don't get too happy because it then unravels again multiple times later. But this is when it starts getting really easy, and I was like really speeding through here. And if you can't tell, I end up doing a double seam, so one on the inside of this and then one on the outside, and that way it just looks a little cleaner. We have like very structured belts. It's now 11:48. We are about to start seam ripping so we can create the slit on the skirt. I'm tired, y'all, but I said we were gonna do it. So let's do it. It's 12:02 a.m. Can you see the deprivation in my eyes? But I just know the only thing pushing me through is that I know I'm gonna look so beautiful and cool because it's something that I made that's inspired by something in The Sims 4, which I love. So I did the seam ripping, but I made the slit like too low, so it literally looked like I messed up, not like an actual slit. So I had to open it up some more. So let's see. Hopefully this one works. All right, I finished the slit and everything, so it should be perfect. I will show you the result tomorrow when I try it on with everything done. I thought this time would never come, but I'm glad it did. Good night. I wanted to give you all a moment to really take in this dress. I mean, you all did this with me and look at how it turned out. Now, it isn't the dress exactly, but it is a high variation of it and I like it. Like, look at the way this is fitting on me. I'm so happy with the product. Let me show you how I get the belt on. So you can see we have that top part and I tuck it underneath my skirt. So you can see it's a clean seam. And then this is the left piece and I wrap it around my back. And it is like a square piece. So I do have to tuck a few things. You can see the hem is hemming. I do not really know that much about tension, but it's okay. So what I do is I wrap it around and you can see, look at those lines. Yes, it's giving drapery and I love it. So I wrap it around the other belt that we see is very structured. And then I just tie it and tie it real tight. I mean, get in there, make it cinch. We want a cinched waist. And there you go. I love this dress because it looks so versatile. Like, look at that. 2 different tops. Pull it up, pull it down to see the lace that continues around the back. Beautiful. Again, the drapery of this changed so many times. Like, not only are you getting a dress, you're getting an experience. Like, it reminds me of those 2-sided markers where you get like the regular tip on one side and then the fine tip on the other. So really, it's 2 dresses in one. I love it nonetheless, though. Here we go. So you tell me, who wore it best? Me or this sim? And yes, there is a correct answer. It's me. But I would love for you to tell me in the comments. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.